found themselves very lucky to have escaped death and injury when another truck had crashed on it. Now, this is a problem that seems to be ongoing. In fact, according to statistics, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency recorded about 201 truck and tanker accidents between January and July last year. We have a special guest joining us this morning. Our guest is Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu. He is the Director General of LASEMA, which is the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency. Good morning, Doctor, and welcome to Lagos Talks on Smooth 98.1.
Good morning.
All right, sir. I want to ask, this is a problem that is ongoing. Within a 6-month period, there were 201 truck and tanker accidents recorded last year. And you're also aware of the situation which happened Sunday and a near miss, which also happened yesterday. What exactly is to be blamed for these incessant truck crashes?
Well, when you look at it holistically, you will discover that the attitudes and the orientations of our people is the main cause of all these road traffic crash that involves articulated vehicles. Now, with that, you will divide the etiology into 3 phases. Okay, first of all, let us look at the community itself, the society itself. 1, you will discover that the railings on our bridge are being caught by undesirable elements, and the undesirable element will smell it, will turn it to different usage, like spoon, like tray, and they will sell it. Some people are patronizing them. Some people are encouraging them to be doing that, which is a sort of hazard on our road. Now, let's look at the maintenance of all these articulated vehicles. These articulated vehicles are not properly maintained. You will discover that they will have breakdown, brake problem, engine problem on the roads. They are not properly maintained. Now, let us look at the usage itself. Some of these articulated vehicles that the manufacturer has marked that they should carry about 20 tons of load. They are carrying 45, they are carrying 50 tons of load. That is excess. So they won't be able to balance up. Now, let us look at the load itself. When they carry container, when they carry any form of tanker, they are not strapped or to the ladder or onto the articulated vehicle. So when the articulated vehicles enter a pothole or try to imbalance, it will shift the container off from the articulated vehicle. Now, let us now look at our people themselves. If you look at Ojuelegba situation, you will discover that passenger vehicle did not stick to the rules. What are the rules? You're supposed to be taking passenger at the bus stop. The government have constructed a bus stop for you. Why are you taking passenger outside the bus stop? So these are menace that are etiology of articulated accidents in our community.
Now, when it comes to the safety measures, who is responsible for this? Is it the drivers? Is it the owners of these trucks or the cargo that they have going? Or is it the responsibility of the regulatory authorities to ensure that they are doing the right thing?
No, it is everyone's business. We've told them, we've emphasized, we've carried out a lot of stakeholders meetings that disaster management, emergency, management is everyone's business, because when it happens, it's going to affect everybody. The owner of the articulated vehicle must take care of their vehicle, must maintain it properly as at when due. Now, the driver itself, if the vehicle is not properly maintained, should tell the owner that I can't drive this kind of vehicle now, that the vehicle is not well maintained, the vehicle has this thing, but they will keep on saying they are managing it, they are doing this, they are doing that. The driver is supposed to inform the owner that they cannot carry more than the capacity of loads that the manufacturer has assigned to that particular articulated vehicle. Thirdly, the driver themselves, they are not properly gathered. Some of them are on drugs, some of them will not sleep very well, some of them are experiencing post-traumatic syndrome. So these are the issues in place. Now, people will be talking about monitoring and enforcement. Now, there is no doubt about that monitoring and enforcement is key. But I ask our people, if disaster management, emergency management is everyone's business, why must we be emphasizing on monitoring and enforcement? There is no doubt about that monitoring and enforcement is being done. We can scale it up.
Who is doing this monitoring and enforcement, Doctor?
We have Safety Commission.
So why do we see these vehicles everywhere?
We have the Federal Road Safety Corps in place. We have the LASEMA in place. We have the police. We have the civil defense. So if you look at organizations that are involved in monitoring and enforcement, there are about 6 organizations.
So if these organizations have because we see these officers on the roads, we know that they are there. And then people are also seeing these vehicles, some with 3 tires, some that are tilted at a 45-degree angle, some that are exuding so much black smoke that they have no business being on the roads. So does it mean that these agencies are failing in their duties? If we had seen one, we'd say, okay, but it's almost the norm.
They are not failing. They are doing their best. You get what I'm trying to say? It is the people that are failing. It's the attitude of our people. It's the orientation of our people. It's a democratic government. It's the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So the focus is supposed to be on the people. And somebody of 25, 26, 30 are of age. When the government have carried out what we call sensitization, they carried out stakeholders meeting. They put the emergency management to your palms. That is everyone's business. Must they be policing you everywhere? Must you be policed before you do the right thing?
Okay, Doctor, I want to ask a question. So I'm a Nigerian citizen and I see a truck that I know has no business being on the roads. What can I do?
You will call 112 or 767. Some have been calling it and we have been doing the needful. We will take pictures. Do you notice something? If you look at the record, you will see some of these articulated drivers fighting the LASEMA, fighting the police. When they see the law enforcement, that is when they will speed up, wanted to attack them. So all these are going on. But there's no doubt about that we are going to step up our enforcement measures. But believe me, from my own perception and from my experience, for us to check these menace, we have to take it to the doorstep of our people. Our people need to change their attitudes. Our people need to change their orientation. Thank God that we have the government that believe in people. Thank God that we have the government that have built the emergency response unit into another level. And that is why you will discover that mortality, morbidity that is associated with this kind of road traffic crash has been greatly reduced. If we don't have a government that purchases billions of naira worth of equipment for emergency responders, if we don't have a government that has employed more emergency responders, you don't know what will happen. There is going to be a lot of things that will happen. So,
all right, Doctor. Doctor, we have to go on a quick break, and we'll continue this conversation in just a few minutes. So please stay with us. This is Lagos Talks on Smooth 98.1. We're talking about the repeated incidents of these truck and tanker crashes in Lagos. Stay with us. Sorry, we're taking a quick break, but we'll be back on in a few minutes.
You can get 2 months for the
Doctor, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome, thank you.
I can't hear you.
See why that is happening. Okay, I believe you can hear me now.
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right, doctor. So just before you came on, we had a caller who shared an experience that she'd been through, she and her family. So she lost her brother on the 2nd of April here in Lagos. He was on his way to work, and one of these vehicles fell over and he lost his life in that accident. Now, she went on to say there hasn't been any resolution from the government, from the agencies, and even from the truck driver and the owners. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions in her situation, but there is the probing and more painful fact that justice has not been done in that situation. Are you aware of this incident?
I'm not aware of that incident. But if they want to seek justice, really, we have Ministry of Justice that they can write letters to. The Ministry of Justice will do their best to ensure that they receive justice. So we have a sort of defender. There is a department that the government call defender agency that they can write to. They can write directly to Ministry of Justice of Lagos State, and I'm sure they will get justice.
Now, if this happened last year and this is almost 10 months later, shouldn't it be the government's responsibility to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book, and not the onus shouldn't be on the citizen and the family who's grieving even?
You see, I keep on saying it, that this is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And it has to be driven by the people. If you think government is not doing the needful, the government has provided the structure. You need to approach the structure. And I can assure you, you will get justice. So we have to come together. It's not about government. It is about people. Let's come together. Let's achieve it together. Government is meant for the people. So let's do everything together. Don't let us keep on
blaming. You explain the structures in this regard.
Please come again with your question.
Yeah, you just said that there are structures in place. Could you explain the structures for Benedicta and perhaps for everyone else who may or may not have lost a loved one in this sort of incident?
First of all, there is LASEMA structure. You can write to us if you are having challenges. There is Ministry of Justice structure. You can write to Ministry of Justice. There's an agency they call Public Defender Agency. You can write to them. So these are three main structures that you can utilize, you can approach. And there is these safety commissions too. Safety commission, you can approach them.
Let's look at some of the messages coming through. This show is interactive, so let us know what your thoughts are. The WhatsApp number is 0809 440 981. You can also tweet at smooth981 or give us a ring. The telephone number to call 01 4489 981. Our special guest this morning is Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu. He's the Director General of LASEMA. LASEMA is the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency. This one is from Cisco Delgado, and he says, what are the vehicle inspection officers doing? They are supposed to be checking these trucks for roadworthiness, for God's sake. And he sends a message to Benedicta, may the soul of your brother rest in peace. And Wilson says, on many occasions, you will see a container on a truck, whereas the container is not properly fastened, and the person whose responsibility it is to checkmate such occurrences will ignore it because of the Nigerian factor that comes to play. Some of these trucks are worn out, not roadworthy, have no tires, overloaded, and as such, threaten the lives of innocent citizens everywhere. Nigeria should rise to the occasion and do the needful. Let's go on to the phone lines and take a quick phone call. Good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please. All right, Gary Newton, let's go.
So now, I see we'll be talking about this truck that picked up, that carried these containers. But there's another particular truck that are always causing havoc on the road, especially those ones on these Agile houses. Those ones that carry this sand, these ones here, they cause a real hard work. You will see 3 trucks moving at the same pace. Align no vehicle to overtake them. I don't know what these people are doing. Even on 1 or 2 occasions, I have to block one of the truck in front. I know it was very risky, but I had to do it and challenge the VIO officer in front there, stopping vehicles. Because this truck, you can see vividly, is loaded with full trip of sand,
Okay, Gary.
Tires at the back are bad. Morning.
All right. Thank you for calling. The number is 0144899981 and on WhatsApp 0809440981. So Sunday, 9 people lost their lives, and I believe LASEMA was involved in the rescue efforts, Doctor.
Definitely we are. And we did a very good job. And our operation was swift, prompt, effective, and professionally done.
Okay, I'll come to that. I was going to go to the phone line, but it seems like that call just took off. Give us a ring back, 0144899981. Now, just a few days after the incident on Sunday, in fact, 2 separate incidents have been reported here in Lagos. What lessons should be learned from what happened at Ojuelegba?
There's a lot of lessons that we need to learn. First of all, if you see something, say something.
I've got some messages here. People say they have tried to call the emergency numbers and they have not been attended to. The 112 number and the 76 number. According to St. Fajo, I've never been attended to when calling that number.
No. We have done a lot of upgrades on our 112 and 767. And, maybe it is the effect of network, really. But you can you can text me directly. My number is 080 6090 7333. Because of the nature of my job, calling is not really advisable. But when you text, it's also my WhatsApp number. When you text me, I can assure you, you can get a good response. And also, we put our WhatsApp number, the emergency WhatsApp number, on in public domain that they can approach. You can also go through the route of the traffic radio. If you call on our traffic radio, they will get in touch with us. So there's a lot of numbers you can play with to get.
But Doctor, you have to admit that while LASEMA and the government, LASMA, the police, Federal Road Safety, VIO, while they are doing what they are mandated to do, but you have to admit that there are certain lapses with their methods of operations, right?
No. I won't agree with you.
You won't?
And I won't agree with you.
But if you won't agree with me, we had an incident that happened on Sunday, and then another one on Monday, and then another on Wednesday.
Which means you are not listening to me.
I am listening to you, but I also want you to understand.
If you are listening to
I'm
me,
listening to you, sir.
I keep on emphasizing. I keep on emphasizing attitude, orientation of our people.
So whose responsibility is it to orient people? Who has this responsibility?
To do what?
To actually tell people what they need to do. If people are ignorant.
That is what we are doing this morning. That is what, yes, it's part of it. I have a lot of work to do. You informed me yesterday, and I came on board.
And we appreciate that.
We've been carrying out a lot of enlightenment. We've been moving to the parks. The FRSC, instead of staying at their on the road, they moved to the park to enlighten them. We've carried out serial stakeholders meeting. Do you understand? When you enlighten, when you carry out stakeholders meeting, the Safety Commission have moved everywhere. The Ministry of Health are in the park. The police are in the park. The media are shouting. They are putting a lot of things on our paper. They are putting a lot of things on our radio. They are putting a lot of things on our TV. But the lacuna, the gap, is that people need to change their orientation. People need to change their attitude. Look at what the gentleman have just said. That gentleman that said that he saw 3 articulated vehicles. They are driving recklessly. He jumped into their front, putting himself. He even admitted that he's putting himself at risk. Why must you do that? You can just take the pictures, the numbers of those articulated vehicles, then you send it in to the appropriate department. public defender, Minister of Justice, LASEMA, LASMA, and justice will be done. So
It doesn't seem like justice has been done in the case of Benedicta, who curled earlier, though, almost a year later.
Because maybe she did not approach the right place. If you approach LASEMA, if you approach Safety Commission, if you approach Minister of Justice, Public Defender, I'm sure you are going to get justice. This is Lagos State. We are not talking about other states. We are talking about Lagos State under the watch of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, where everything works.
Okay, let's go on to the messages. OJ says, to be fair, LASEMA is responsible for emergency response, and I believe they are doing a fantastic job. And OJ asks if you could repeat your phone number. I have it down. Can I repeat it, Doctor? The phone number you said earlier. Okay.
Although you don't know my designation, I will allow you to go ahead.
Okay. Okay, why don't you tell us, please?
Well, my name is Dr. Olufemi Damilola Oke-Osanyintolu. I'm the permanent secretary, not DG, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA.
All right, and the phone number?
My phone number is 080 60 90 7333. I don't know how to pronounce R properly. But
we heard it.
333.
Yes. Just to repeat it, 0806 090 7333. Okay, we got that number. And yeah, we have that number for you. Okay, it does seem like we are almost out of time on this. And I want to thank you, Dr. Olufemi, for coming on the show. And I'm sure that it would be fine if Benedicta and her family can contact you, perhaps in their quest for closure and justice.
Definitely, but I would prefer text most of the time.
Yes.
Text is very good for me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Olufemi, for joining us on Lagos Talks this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is it for Lagos Talks this morning. We want to thank our special guest for coming through, and thank you for listening. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your phone calls as well. And once again, thoughts and prayers go out to Benedicta and her family, who are dealing with the loss of a beloved family member from these incidents. We hope that justice is done, and we certainly hope that these incidents, truck and trailer container crashes, are a thing that we never have to deal with in the future. It's Zibby here, and I'm drawing a curtain on the smooth